Away, he got not such a good start tonight. Kelly just leads him from Kepagelli. Out wide, Cassiano and John. Now Gout starts to stretch away, and stretch away he does! And he's done it! He's broken the 10 seconds again!
At the 2025 Australian National Athletics Championships in Perth, all eyes were locked on a 17-year-old with a name you don't forget. Gout Gout. Coming off a blazing national record in the 200 meters and having already held his own against elite global talent, expectations were sky high. But what happened next? No one saw it coming. From the moment he stepped onto the track for the junior men's 100-meter semifinal, the energy shifted. Gout launched out of the blocks with his most explosive start yet. Head down. Perfect drive phase and absolute precision. With 20 meters to go, he eased up, clearly conserving energy. But even then, he stopped the clock at a jaw-dropping 9.99 seconds. Only 7 junior athletes in history have ever run sub-10 in the 100 meters, but before the world could crown him, there was a twist. A plus 3.5 meters per second tailwind made the time ineligible for record books. Still, that didn't stop the internet from exploding. The real kicker, that was just the semifinal. In the final, things got messy. Gout didn't get the clean start he had earlier. He lagged in the opening 10 meters, a moment that would have ruined most races. But not for Gout. With astonishing closing speed, he surged forward, clocking another 9.99. This time, the win was plus 2.6 meters per second. Still over the limit, but much closer. That's 2 sub-10 times in one day by a 17-year-old. To put this in perspective, wind-adjusted conversions suggest Gout's semifinal time could translate to roughly 10.03 seconds under legal wind. Even crazier, these were the only sprint events all day with illegal wind readings. It felt like something or someone was trying to stop this kid from etching his name into history. But Gout doesn't need a record to prove he's a generational talent. And let's not forget, his primary event isn't even the 100, it's the 200 meters. Back in December 2024, at just 16, Gout shattered the Australian national record with a legal 20.04, and in March 2025, he went even faster, a wind-assisted 19.98. That's Usain Bolt territory, literally. Bolt didn't go that fast at 16. This Sunday, Gout's set to run the 200 again at the same championships. But this time, he's had 3 full days to rest. No back-to-back fatigue, no excuses, just pure potential. In the history of the 200 meters, only 5 juniors have broken 20 seconds under legal wind. Usain Bolt, Ariane Knighton, Blessing Afrifa, Letsile Tebogo, and Asinga. Gout could be next. Let that sink in. At just 17, Gout has already run times that rival Olympic finalists. He's built for this. Technically sound, mentally sharp, and physically explosive. Oh, and he's got years left in the junior division. His story began in Ipswich, Queensland, born to South Sudanese parents. At first, he loved football. But by year 7, after dominating a school athletics carnival, the sprint bug took hold. Under coach Diane Shepherd, his growth has been unstoppable. He quickly rose through the ranks, winning state and national titles while fine-tuning his explosive technique. Experts say his tall frame, longer stride length, and unusually high cadence make him a biomechanical marvel. Some analysts even compare his stride pattern to that of Usain Bolt's, just with a more controlled top-end speed. But what really sets Gout apart is his mindset. Despite the attention, he remains grounded. In interviews, he talks about trusting the process and staying focused on improvement rather than chasing clout. His humility is refreshing in a sport where ego can often overshadow performance. This combination of elite ability and mental maturity has drawn praise from athletic legends. Former Olympic champions have labeled him as a future global star, while international coaches are already dissecting his form frame by frame. And with Australia set to host the 2032 Olympics, the idea of Gout peaking on home soil is becoming more than just a dream. It's a national mission. Looking ahead, Gout's pathway appears meticulously planned. He's focusing on major youth championships and select senior-level meets, carefully balancing exposure and development. His coaching team is prioritizing quality over quantity, allowing him time to recover, recalibrate, and come back sharper with each race. And let's talk about his peers for a moment. In an era loaded with young sprinters like Letsile Tebogo and Blessing Afrifa, Gout doesn't just keep up, he often leads. While others rely on raw speed, Gout adds surgical race strategy. He knows when to hit top gear and when to conserve energy. That kind of tactical precision is rare, especially in athletes under 20. What's even more fascinating is how the public has responded. Social media can't get enough of him. Each new race sparks viral clips, analysis breakdowns, and even memes celebrating his unique name and effortless sprinting style. It's not often a junior athlete trends worldwide for running fast. Not once, but consistently. But it's not just hype. Gout Gout is turning heads because he backs up every bit of buzz with results. You can't fake a sub-10. You can't bluff a national record, and you certainly can't manufacture the type of closing speed that leaves seasoned athletes trailing in his wake. So where does he go from here? The short answer, upward. If Sunday's 200-meter race unfolds under legal wind conditions, we could be witnessing a new chapter in track and field history. A legal sub-20 at just 17 years old would catapult him into the stratosphere, not just in Australia, but globally. And from there, World Juniors, Diamond League, the Olympics, take your pick. The long answer? Well, that's where it gets even more exciting, because Gout Gout isn't just about times and titles. He represents the next generation of sprinting, a young athlete from a multicultural background rising through hard work, talent, and sheer passion. His journey is one that resonates far beyond the finish line. So now it's your turn. What do you think about Gout Gout's back-to-back 9.99s? Will he finally go sub-10 under legal wind? More importantly, what time do you think he'll clock in the 200? Drop your predictions in the comments and let us know what you think the future holds for the sprinting phenom from Queensland. Until next time, if you're excited about Gout Gout's rise, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Drop your predictions in the comments. Let's see who gets it right. Share this video with a friend who needs to know the name Gout Gout. Big things are coming. Imagine being 17 and already faster than 99% of professional sprinters. That's exactly what just happened. On April 20th, 2024, the world of track and field was turned upside down. What many believed to be impossible just became history. A high school sprinter, just 17 years old, crossed the finish line of the 100-meter dash in a blistering 9.93 seconds. That teen was Christian Miller from Creekside High School in Florida. And his race wasn't just fast. It was a seismic shift. For decades, breaking the 10-second barrier in high school was seen as unreachable, but Christian didn't just break it, he crushed it. Christian's 9.93 wasn't a one-time fluke. That spring, he clocked 2 more sub-10 races, one of them coming at the United States Olympic trials, where he nearly made the Olympic team with a 9.98. For years, the high school record hovered stubbornly at 10.00 seconds, a mark set by Trentavis Friday in 2014. Few even got close. But Miller not only shattered that record, he did it legally and repeatedly. This performance placed him second on the all-time junior list for athletes under 20, behind only Letziel Tebogo's 9.91 from 2022. What made Miller's times even more stunning was that they were run under legal wind conditions. No artificial help, just raw speed, perfect form, and ice-cold nerves.
It's Tebogo, he's turning round, he's celebrating, he's pointing the finger at Nkrumah. He has run 9.91.
There's an extra layer to this story that makes it even more unbelievable. Not only did Christian accomplish what no other high school sprinter had done, but he did it with a level of consistency that almost feels superhuman. To run sub-10 once is lightning in a bottle. To do it multiple times in the span of months? That's dominance. That's the mark of someone who's not just talented, but disciplined, strategic, and locked in. He didn't just break through a wall, he kicked it down and dared others to follow. Fast forward just a few months. April 2025, Texas. Braden Williams, an 18-year-old sprinter from Duncanville High School, lines up at the Class 6A Region 2 meet. No one's expecting history. But then it happens. 9.82 seconds. The crowd erupts, coaches are stunned, competitors are floored. This wasn't just fast, it was world class. There was just one catch, the wind. A monstrous plus 6.0 meters per second tailwind meant the time wouldn't count for record purposes. But let's be clear, This wasn't some lucky gust pushing an average runner. Williams was flying. If we adjust that time for legal wind conditions, he still lands somewhere between 9.88 and 9.96. Either way, it's clear this kid has wheels. And the aftermath of that race? Electric. The video of Williams crossing the finish line spread like wildfire on social media. Coaches and athletes around the world dissected every frame. His acceleration phase, his top-end speed, his form, everything was under the microscope. And what they found was a sprinter who could very well be the next big name in track and field. While the U.S. was reeling from Miller and Williams, another young sprinter was lighting up tracks halfway across the globe. Gout Gout, a 17-year-old from Australia, broke 10 seconds not once, but twice. Both times the wind was just over the legal limit, but the message was loud and clear. Australia's got a future star.
Gout Gout has done the unthinkable, breaking the 10-second barrier in the 100 metres twice in one night.
Gout's style is fluid, his turnover insane. In the 200-meter, he's broken 20 seconds multiple times this year alone. And just like Williams, he's one good day and a legal wind away from making history. Fans and analysts alike are watching closely, because the moment the wind cooperates, Gout Gout is rewriting record books.
Gout Gout, though, now shows his class. Gout Gout from Queensland, 20.87.
There's something else about Gout that sets him apart. His fearlessness. This is an athlete who doesn't flinch at big moments. He attacks races with the swagger of someone who knows exactly what he's capable of. And when the conditions finally align, the world better be watching, because he's going to make sure everyone knows his name. It's frustrating, really. The difference between a historic record and an all-conditions mark can come down to a gust of wind. For a 100-meter race, the legal tailwind is plus 2.0 meters per second. Anything over that, and the time doesn't count for official record purposes. Both Braden Williams and Gout Gout have had their best races wiped from the record books due to high winds.
Mitchell as well. And it looks like Braden Williams is going to get that 9.9.
But don't let the wind fool you. These races still happened. The times were still run. And wind-adjusted conversions show that even under ideal conditions, these sprinters are sub-10 caliber. The potential is real. The only question is when, not if, we see these performances made official. And if you've ever doubted how much wind can impact a race, consider this. A tailwind not only helps runners cover ground faster, but it also reduces drag and energy output. It makes every stride just a little more efficient. That's why records have such strict wind rules. But it also means that when the wind dies down and these athletes still run blazing times, there's no more debate. They're the real deal. This isn't the first time we've seen wind-aided magic. In 2014, Trayvon Brommel ran 9.77 with a plus 4.2 wind. People doubted it, but a month later, he ran 9.97 under legal conditions and became the first junior to go sub-10 legally. Brommel went on to compete at the world level, proving that even wind-assisted times can signal real greatness.
Has a metre or two. Mike Rogers going well on the outside. Lyle started to come through now, but Trayvon Brommel, 10.03 unofficially. Well, he got the...
For Williams and Gout, Brommel's path is the blueprint. Turn wind-aided brilliance into wind-legal dominance. If their early races are any sign, it's only a matter of time. Why now? Why are we suddenly seeing teens break barriers once reserved for pros? It's not just talent. Training is smarter. Nutrition is dialed in. Recovery is optimized. Even the tracks are faster. The science behind sprinting has evolved, and these athletes are reaping the benefits. Christian Miller and his peers train with intensity and precision that wasn't common even a decade ago. Video analysis, performance tracking, biomechanical feedback, they're all part of the new sprinting toolkit. Combine that with raw hunger, and you get a new generation that refuses to wait. And it's not just about training harder, it's about training smarter. Athletes now have access to tools that help them understand exactly how their bodies move and perform. They can analyze split times, reaction speeds, muscle efficiency, all in real time. It's like having a personal sports scientist for every workout. Here's what makes this story exciting. It's not over, not even close. The outdoor season still has meets left. The weather will shift, conditions will change, and when they do, we might just witness history all over again. Braden Williams is hunting that legal sub-10. Gout Gout is waiting for his shot. And Christian Miller, he's already there but wants more. A potential showdown at World Juniors or international meets could give us one of the fastest high school face-offs ever. And beyond that, imagine this. What happens when these three meet on the same track? No wind issues, no excuses. Just three of the fastest teenagers the world has ever seen, racing side by side. That's not just a race, that's a moment. That's a turning point in the history of sprinting. Track fans, pay attention. We are living through a golden age of youth sprinting. Christian Miller, Braden Williams, and Gout Gout have kicked the door open. They're not just chasing records, they're redefining what's possible. No longer is the 10-second barrier untouchable for high schoolers. No longer do we look to pros for the fastest times, because the fastest man in the world this year might just be doing homework between training sessions. The future is now, and it's moving fast. Like, share, and drop a comment. Who's breaking 10 legally first? Let's hear your pick.
Akeem Blake alongside him. Bednarek is trying to run the two of them down. It's going to be very close here. It's going to be Kenny again!
He's never been the favorite. He's always been second. But what if the most dangerous sprinter in 2025 isn't the one with the gold medals, but the one chasing them down? Every year in track and field, a few names start to rise above the rest. Athletes who don't just win, they dominate. In 2025, that name is Kenny Bednarek. From lighting up the Grand Slam track circuit to delivering historic performances in relays, Bednarek is no longer the perennial silver medalist. He's making a serious case to be the top sprinter in the world, and if his current momentum continues, this might be the year he finally claims his gold.
Pretty even start, all right in the middle. Seville has got out strong, so is Akeem Blake alongside him. Bednarek is trying to...
Kenny Bednarek's 2025 campaign ignited with a bang at the Grand Slam Track Series. In Kingston, he clinched the 100 meters in 10.07 seconds and the 200 meters in 20.07 seconds, securing a perfect 24-point score and a $100,000 prize. He replicated this feat in Miami, clocking a wind-assisted 9.79 in the 100 meters and a world-leading 19.84 in the 200 meters, adding another $100,000 to his earnings.
Continues to go away. Hughes is charging at the end, but they're not going to catch Kenny. Kenny takes the win. 20.06.
What stood out even more than the times was how easy he made it look. His start was sharper, his drive phase more explosive, and the way he separated in the final 50 meters. That was the mark of someone operating on a different level. You could see it in the way other runners reacted, not with frustration, but with quiet recognition. They knew something had shifted. At the 2025 World Relays in Guangzhou, Bednarek's prowess shone brightly. Anchoring Team USA in the 4x100 meter relay, he delivered the fastest splits in both the semifinal and final. Despite the team's silver finish behind South Africa's 37.61 world-leading time, Bednarek's explosive legs were pivotal in Team USA's season-best 37.66. And here's where it gets even crazier. His second leg split, 8.79 seconds. That's not just fast, that's historic. Only a handful of athletes in history have ever run a relay segment that quickly. It wasn't just the fastest of the day, it was a message, and it echoed loudly across the sprinting world. Kenny Bednarek is not here to follow. He's here to lead. For years, Bednarek has played second fiddle on the global stage. At the 2021 Tokyo Olympics, he finished second in the 200 meters. The next year at the World Championships, another silver. And in the 2024 Paris Olympics, yet again, a runner-up spot, despite an excellent time of 19.62. What made these results more frustrating is that in any other Olympic year, his times would have likely earned gold. But like Jamaican legend Johan Blake, who was always overshadowed by Usain Bolt, Bednarek seemed destined to always be the bridesmaid. But 2025 feels different. There's a noticeable shift in his mindset and performance. It's not just about competing anymore. It's about winning. One of the most striking patterns in Bednarek's career is his ability to peak at exactly the right time. In 2021, 2022, 2023, and again in 2024, his fastest 200-meter times came at either the World Championships or the very end of the season. Each time he dipped under 19.8 seconds, consistently placing him among the world's best. Kenny Bednarek's personal best in the 200 meters is 19.57 seconds, achieved on September 5, 2024. He also ran a windy time of 19.49 in 2024. In the 100 meters, his personal best is 9.87 seconds, achieved with a plus 0.4 meters per second wind on May 3, 2025. He also ran a windy 9.79 in 2025.